The National Justice Mission Ghana has organized a National Justice Conference aimed at reflecting on milestones in Ghana's public justice system and renewing the nation's commitment to combating human trafficking. The event brought together key stakeholders, including government agencies, social welfare institutions, NGOs, and community leaders. Speaking to the press, Anita Budu, Country Director of IGM Ghana, highlighted the organization's decade-long contribution to the fight against human trafficking, particularly in agricultural communities and across the Volta Lake. She noted that IGM's collaboration with the Ghana Police Service Anti-Human Trafficking Unit, the Marine Police, the Department of Social Welfare, the Office of the Attorney General, and civil society organizations has led of many children and vulnerable individuals. Budu emphasized that the conference served as a platform to review progress made in trauma care for survivors, hold protesters accountable, and deepen community engagement with traditional and religious leaders to protect children.
International Justice Mission Ghana has been in operation for the past 10 years, since 2015. And throughout this time, we've been able to see progress in terms of the issue of child trafficking, and specifically in our agricultural spaces, and being taken more and more seriously. And we've been able to see children and vulnerable individuals being taken out of situations of harm. We've been able to work collaboratively with the Ghana Police Service, particularly the Anti-Human Trafficking Unit and the Marine Police Unit. We've been able to work with the Department of Social Welfare and the Office of the Attorney General to really have a collaborative approach to dealing with the issue of trafficking. And I would say that our partnership work, again with other NGOs in the space, has also really been monumental in this journey across the 10 years. And for us to really be able to see progress and great shifts. As we've heard today, there have been shifts in terms of trauma-informed care, survivor-centered care, and pushing for the resources required for survivors once they are taken out of situations of harm to be restored. There's been progress made in holding perpetrators accountable. There's been progress made in terms of community engagement and raising awareness, because we know that if there's going to be true change, our community leaders, our people within local communities really need to be aware of these issues and ensure that they are protecting children within their communities. And so we are optimistic of the progress that we've made and how much further we are going to get as a country and as stakeholders in this space. Some of the challenges that have been highlighted today are really the challenges that have been raised by our stakeholders, and some of it is adequate resourcing for the Department of Social Welfare, adequate resourcing to the Human Trafficking Fund for survivors of trafficking, and when it comes to manning our water bodies, being able to have sufficient manpower and resources to ensure that the good work we do is maintained. We all know that having police presence in itself is a deterrent, and so being able to ensure that these resources are in place for sustained work or sustained good work is important as we move forward. And so in terms of what we aim to see in the next 5 to 10 years, we want to expand our operations into other regions in Ghana to be able to provide the support that we've provided in particular regions, particularly Volta, OT, Central, Eastern to date. We want to expand that support to our government partners across wider regions in Ghana to be able to enable our government partners to be well equipped to deal with situations of trafficking in the agricultural sector. And we want to get to a point where our government partners are working more and more independently in this space. Or in terms of the legal framework, we understand that we know that there are quite robust laws in place. There are some questions around movement or shift in particular elements of the law. However, from our standpoint, we believe that the main thing is enforcement of the law to ensure that people realize the seriousness of human trafficking and don't engage in it on a day-to-day basis. And we're looking forward to a time where in 5 to 10 years time we are not talking about the prevalence of trafficking in the levels that we're talking about now. Currently, in a study that was completed in 2022, there were estimated prevalence levels of 38% of children who are suspected to be trafficked in and around the Volta region area, and 45% of children who are being exploited within the fishing and agricultural spaces. And so we want to see these numbers come down in the foreseeable future as we work towards ending human trafficking.
Also addressing participants was Dr. Kwame Adosei, Deputy Director in charge of Standards and Compliance at the Department of Social Welfare, who revealed that the ministry has developed training standards and guidelines to equip welfare officers with professional skills to manage child protection and human trafficking cases.
We as a Department of Social Welfare play a diverse role when it comes to the fight against human trafficking. Let me use this opportunity to also explain that as a department we have also been decentralized. So we have our national office and our respected colleagues at a decentralized level. As a department under the Ministry of Gender, Children and Social Protection, we have done a lot of work through collaboration with our partners like UNICEF and other stakeholders to carry out numerous activities to help social workers in the country to work professionally when it comes to dealing with child trafficking issue, which is also a serious child protection concern. As a department, we have developed various training manuals, standards, guidelines, regulations for social welfare officers, for social workers in the country. An example is the case management SOP for children in need of care and protection. This document helps social workers to manage all child protection issues, example the human trafficking case, professionally. Again, we have built the capacity of social services workforce across the country to enhance social services delivery, including handling of child trafficking cases at the various MMDAs. As at 2025 May, the department through the School of Social Work has trained 120 social services workforce from the various MMDAs.
Dr. Adosei commended IGM's role in building capacity of over 120 social service workers in the OT region. He disclosed that as of 2024, Ghana recorded approximately 650 cases of child labor, human trafficking, and modern slavery. He also highlighted cross-border challenges, including child trafficking for street begging and child prostitution, stressing for collaboration efforts with neighboring countries.
As a department, some MMDAs in the country continues to face the problem of irregular migration and transnational trafficking, which involve trafficking children from neighboring countries to Ghana to engage in begging for arms on the streets. And when girls are also coerced into prostitution to pay exorbitant fees for transportation and lodging, which just happen to be an open secret. And as a department, as we speak now, we have the problem of street-violated children on our various streets, which most of them happen to be victims of trafficking. Again, with cross-border collaboration in administrative procedure also continues to pose a big challenge when trafficked children need to be repatriated to their various countries and ensure proper reunification with their families. This is also a big challenge. And this required coordinated efforts among neighboring countries, which mostly is lacking. Resource constraint was also mentioned by our previous speakers. And also this problem is also faced by the department, both at the national level and at the various MMDA level too. And this cut across, it can be in terms of finance, personnel, and infrastructure to handle human trafficking cases, because handling HC cases is not easy.
Thank you for watching Nation One TV. Kindly subscribe for more news updates.